What is really funny is the Charlotte Speedway, whatever, in North Carolina is literally like 20-30 minutes away from my house. Like, I live in South Carolina and it's literally like down the highway, and there's a scene where they explain like Highway 85, whatever. I'm like, I get on the highway like all the time. Like, it's just so cool, and that whole atmosphere in this movie. But dang, I'll just say this movie definitely felt like it came out just for our town, like South Carolina. You know, the movie was filmed in North Carolina, West Virginia, but still, like, it was in our region. I like that about this movie. Okay, now let's talk about everything else about the movie, because it's basically Ocean's 11. Logan Lucky. This movie stars Channing Tatum, Kylo Ren himself, Adam Driver, and a bunch of other people. Daniel Craig, Hilary Swank's in it, Catherine Watterson from Fantastic Beasts and Alien Covenant, that one girl from American Honey and Mad Max, a bunch of people in this movie. Sling Blade dude himself, the big dad guy, I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, a lot of people in this movie, and this movie is basically about Channing Tatum, and he's part of the Logan family. His brother, Adam Driver, and his sister, the girl from Mad Max, they're the Logan family. He gets off his job because he has a knee problem. They're like, alright, you get out of here, you can't be in this job, you didn't write this down, whatever. And so his place he worked at was like construction. It was right next to the Motor Speedway, and the Charlotte Motor Speedway, there's a big thing happening every once a year. It's huge race car thing happens, and so they're gonna rob it, get some money for some reasons I won't spoil. And so they all come together. They need Daniel Craig, who's in prison. They gotta get him, and then his name is Joe Bang in this movie. And they gotta get him. They gotta come together just like Ocean's 11 and rob it just like Ocean's 11 at a sports event, just like Ocean's 11. So if you're getting my vibe, this movie is literally, hands down, there's no doubt about it, this movie is Ocean's 11 except rednecked like this. It's not as nice and fancy looking. And I'll say, I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. I didn't love it as much as Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 13. And if you guys watch my channel lately, I've been reviewing the whole Ocean's trilogy leading up to this movie because Steven Soderbergh's directing, came out of retirement, whatever. And once again, he knocks it apart. The directing is awesome in this movie. He didn't do the cinematography. The guy who did the Ocean's 11, the first one, the cinematography for him, he actually did this movie, and the movie looks great. The acting was spot on. There was not a single person in this movie. Well, there's actually one person. Everyone nailed their part. Channing Tatum was great. I never felt like he was a movie star. I felt like they grabbed a local West Virginia guy and was like, hey, I need you to lead this movie. His accent was perfect. He led the movie great. Again, I never felt like I was watching a movie star. Adam Driver, him and his one hand, whatever, he was a great character. I loved Adam Driver. He almost stole the movie for me. He was very funny. He actually had a dramatic part to him. There was a really good story behind him and his brother and everything. I like that. I loved their relationship. The sister, girl from Mad Max, she was super pretty, and she's awesome in this movie. And of course, the show stealer himself, we saw in the trailers, and I was so excited to see how he's gonna do it. Daniel Craig was awesome in this movie. You could tell that, I know he's known for James Bond, but this movie, he was like, alright, I'm not James Bond anymore. I'm this Virginian idiot kid named Joe Bang. I'm not super muscly, I'm not the smartest, and I like to drink beer and rob people. And he nailed it. The accent, everything about him. Look at Daniel Craig was having a blast playing someone who's not called James Bond. And I gotta give up to him. I mean, I love him as James Bond, but I never really saw him else, like, personally, as a fan, I never really saw him anything else except for James Bond. So for him to do this, I'm like, dang, he's a good actor. He should do more stuff than James Bond. Yes, he's going to do James Bond one more time, but I'm excited to see what else he does, because seeing in this movie, I was like, wow, he did a great job. So all around, the acting is great. Catherine Watterson, for the small role she had, she was awesome. I loved her little character and her little storyline. The one actress I didn't really buy was in this movie, technically. Like, she's in it for a short period of time, not a huge spoiler. But Hilary Swank, the girl from $1 Million Baby, great actress. She's only in it for like probably 10 minutes maybe, and she's a small role, but she felt so left out of field. She didn't come in toward the very end of this movie, but when it showed her and her storyline came up, whatever, I was like, you're not as fun or exotic or rednecky or anything. You're just a straight up person wearing a suit who doesn't smile and just talks like this and is ready to find Joe Bang. Like, it's just like, I didn't really care for her. But overall, the movie is super funny. There are some very funny moments. The dialogue is quip, just like Ocean's 11. And just like Ocean's 11, they plan a big robbery at a sports event, just like Ocean's 11, and they rob it and everything. And I won't go too deep of how they do and everything, but they do pull Ocean's 11 at the very end. If you've seen Ocean's 11, you know how every one of those movies ends. That's how this movie ends. So I'm not going to really get into it because I want to spoil it, of course, because the movie coming out tomorrow. Also, another thing is, Seth MacFarlane was a little over the top. He's only in it for like 5 minutes, but he's over the top when he is in it. Sebastian Stan, I don't know why he was in it. He was literally in it for 2 minutes. They have all these famous actors in small roles, but everyone, like, it felt like they weren't, no one felt like a star in this movie. It all felt like they went outside where I live in the woods and just filmed it, and it felt like that. I mean, it was great. It literally is Ocean's 11, get rid of all the fancy cinematography, the fancy clothes, fancy Vegas, put it in the Southwest Virginia, and that's all you get. And I really felt that vibe, especially how I live around here. I live in this area, so it really connected me more with the whole thing, because I've seen these areas before. I've seen the Charlotte Speedway. I've seen it. I've been there. So it connected to me just a little bit more. Also, I thought Channing Tatum and his daughter storyline was super cute. There's a really sweet scene at a show, whatever. If you've seen it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a really sweet scene. Overall, I had fun with the movie. The movie's funny. It's got a great story. It tells you these characters are great. And at the very end, it kind of felt like they were setting up for a sequel. I'm not sure. If we got a sequel, I would be down, if you say. I have one more problem. The movie is slow, and I expected that because Ocean's 11 and 12 and 13 are slow movies. This movie is the same. It's a very slow movie. And after they pull the heist off, there's like an extra 20 minutes, and you're just like, so what's the rest of this movie about? And it's like really slow and everything, so that's all my problems really. Overall, I'm going to give Logan Lucky a B+. It's definitely a good movie, and it definitely did not disappoint me. And it's definitely the best movie of August, hands down. So hey guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, guys.